Hi, welcome to my house. Here's where we host the show Caledonia Creative, starring the one and only, irreplaceable, but you wish he was replaceable, Callum White as your host. Today is my very special guest and very good friend, Mr. Waters.
Hello.
Now, right out of the gate, is the reason you're called Waters because of your affinity for water?
I thought you said I couldn't have that. You said I couldn't have that like 2 minutes ago.
I'm a hypocrite, go over it.
You know why my name's Waters?
Why is it? What's your name? Why's your name Waters?
I don't want to say on the show.
You want to say it on the show?
No. Is that a thing that happened?
Well, it's an interview, so you have to answer everything with 100% honesty.
Okay. It's because it's my last name.
Okay, and what's your address?
It's
Oh shit, that's an actual answer. And what's your bank number? Sort code, account code, the 3 funny numbers in the back of your card.
sort code.
Oh shit. We're getting a lot of new kit for the show after we wrap this filming. Either way, Jacob, it's a pleasure to have you on, thank you.
It's a good handshake.
It's a nice handshake from you too. I like it. So,
Don't
ask
trust a man with a weak handshake.
limp fish, no deal. Off the bat, what's your favourite movie of all time?
Oh, I don't know. It changes all the time. What am I like?
Or some of your favourites then, if you can't think of one.
No, I'm not really into movies just now, if I'm honest.
Well, that leads into my next question. More on brand, what are some of your favourite albums or artists or like big inspirations to you? Just list a few of them off.
Okay, I'm going to pretend you asked me what my favourite TV show is.
Okay,
I'm going to say
favourite-
The Sopranos just now.
Okay.
Because that's, I think film and TV should go one on one.
Oh yeah,
Sometimes.
with the way it's gone nowadays, everything's fucking hour and a half long episodes anyway, so why not just blend them?
But music. What am I listening to right now? I'm listening to a lot of like unreleased stuff, or, like stuff that's leaked that artists haven't intended to come out with.
Can we get some examples? Anyone that I would know?
There's a lot of leaked Mac Miller floating about just now.
Doesn't that feel kind of spooky? Because you're like listening to a ghost.
A little bit, yeah, but he's, I think he was like, he had so much potential. Like if his last one last one Circles was as good as it was, like just imagine where he would have fucking went. But otherwise, I'm getting into a lot of like Glasgow artists just now. I guess just kind of trying to look for collaborations and that. Some people that come to mind is like Taylor Cascade, for instance. The Low Rays are popping off right now. They're really, really good. But yeah.
Nice, very glad to hear. So, I met you at college, right? We both went to the same college, and a TV production course. What made you switch from TV production to such a heavy focus on music? Was there a reason you kind of went, shit, that's for me, or was it just a over time sort of slow build-up thing?
As everyone knows, Kelvin. I have a history of Kelvin.
Do you want to explain that to the viewers at home who might not know?
I think it's been going on a lot. Basically, Kelvin couldn't handle me. Let's put it that way. You can look at my Instagram at WATTERS. First reel there. It's a great wee video that explains it all. But yeah, I went to Kelvin to do film production initially, and then by the end of it, 15 people had dropped out.
Yeah.
They cut the course short. So I took a year off, then the pandemic happened, and then I was like, you know what, I really want to do music. So I was doing music on my own, in my flat. And then I found out, like, I was like, oh, I need money to make music. I could go and do a course in music and get SAS money to do that.
Aye.
And also make some cool connections, which I did do. The first year of the course was fucking fantastic, just to say. But yeah, that's kind of it. Like, there wasn't really a direct reason for me going and studying it. I don't think you need to study these things at all.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, as much stick as I do give Kelvin, some of the lecturers were really, really good and really, really helped me like learn how to mix and master and all that. But yeah.
Well, I agree on the sort of topic of educating arts.
Yeah.
At a certain level, yes, you can teach someone the bare bones of production, whether it's how to use mixing software, how to set up a camera, how to do all this stuff. Like, we wouldn't be here, the whole team. Tyler is the director. Also, shout out to Tyler as the director. Get in front of the camera.
Get in front.
Fucking wave. Face the camera. But no, we wouldn't be here as friends or as a team without some form of education, that being at college.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, you can only teach someone how to use stuff practically without then telling them what to make.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like they weren't telling you, here's how you write music. You were like, I want to do this, and you had it in your brain how to do it. They may have taught you the most bare bones stuff about music theory.
Yeah.
Did they even do that, or is that more of a?
So, they did. I suck at music theory. I hate music theory. I tried to avoid music theory class if I could. Sorry, Ross, if you're watching. Ross Campbell from the Nightcrawlers, he was one of my lecturers.
Mm-hmm.
He really helped me. He mixed and mastered Memento Mori, which everyone really likes. I don't like it. But yeah, he actually, if you want to talk about like, you know, not being able to be taught like creative control or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when we first like linked up and started working together, he was like, "Oh, there's a lot of people called Waters. Why don't you like call yourself Little Waters or something like that?"
Jesus Christ, Little Waters.
No.
That wouldn't be. It would not work.
Not in a million years. Not in a million fucking years would you ever catch me using the name Little in front of anything.
What about Young Waters?
Oh.
What about Stillwater?
There's nothing wrong with like I like Young Lean and I like Lil Lazy, but it's not for me. Like one name, that's cool.
Can I pitch the idea that every album you do from here on out, or every EP, has a pun involving water? Like the cover art, you're covered in glitter and it's sparkling waters.
Yeah.
Then the next one, it's you standing, it's still waters. Then
Well,
then the next one, you've got a bunch of like diamonds, like it's mineral waters.
Well, that's my kind of dream. Like I really want to find a girl and, you know, have kids with her and hopefully have them be twins so we can call them Sparkling and Still Waters. That's my dream.
Fuck.
Ladies, you know the Insta.
No, I'm in a similar boat. I want to call my first child Walter, no matter what, just so I can say I gave birth to Walter White. You know.
Well, that was the funny thing, right? Going back to Kelvin, the final nail in the coffin. So they suspended me for 90 days. There was a lot of things that happened, but the main thing was due to the lyrical content, swearing, too sexual.
This is stupid. Find me one popular song nowadays that isn't sexual in some nature or has swearing fucking film, the choruses and verses.
So fucking dumb. But
Did we forget Wet Ass Pussy was like the biggest song of last year? Did we just forget that?
Towards the end of the suspension, I kind of knew like a month before that like they're going to expel me.
Yeah.
They're just dragging it out at this point. And there was something I can't mind specifically, but basically all the classes are in the Teams chat, and I was like, you know what, I'm getting sent away. It was when one of the lecturers stopped responding to me because I was trying to catch up on work. I was trying to be like, oh, give me some stuff to work on or whatever. And they were just patching me.
Yeah.
So I just started posting like GIFs and pictures of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Like, I said, and then like, hi all, missing you, can't wait to come back and talk about Breaking Bad. And then someone sent in a GIF of Saul Goodman, and I was like, Saul Goodman's my favourite character. I wish I was Saul Goodman.
So you're playing the role of this socially like inept like 90s boomer on a forum. You're just like, I love Breaking Bad. Does anyone have any theories? I think Jesse's actually Walt from the past.
And what I think the funny thing is, like, it obviously did some damage because they still check my social media to this day.
I've seen that. Yeah, on your story, they'll like check your stories and like your posts, and it's just kind of they're like an obsessive ex, you know.
It's really funny.
You had something together, they threw it away, but they're not over you yet, and they kind of want to come crawling back.
Like, I'll be honest, and I know, like, I don't want to talk about Kelvin too much because it's not why we're here, but like, I am actively trying to move away from it. I've not posted about it like over a month now.
Yeah, that's good.
It does just keep getting dragged back up, which is really funny.
I think because it's such a weird situation where how everything went down, it's like it's gonna be, you know, like
the beautiful thing,
part of it.
What I'm really doing just now, and like stuff that's not been announced publicly or whatever, but some people know about it, is I'm doing what I said. As soon as I was suspended, I was like, I'm going to succeed without it.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, I think arguably out of anyone on that course, I am probably the most successful right now. Like, I'm not super up there, but people know of Waters.
Exactly. Even your social engagement is insane compared to what I've seen from a lot of sort of up-and-coming musicians in the Glasgow scene. Because I've been doing music videos for them, videos for you, sort of links out. I'm not saying like, oh, they're so small, but there's a clear difference in engagement and like the reach you've got. You're doing very well for yourself, considering, you know, your sort of like standing as, you know, like young guy doing it on his own out of Glasgow essentially, very well for what you've like been given. Like congratulations on that.
And I think as well it kind of speaks to like, I feel, and this isn't like going after anyone or whatever, but it feels like not a lot of people go against the industry right now. A lot of people just try and appease promoters or appease like the labels or whatever, but like it feels like what I'm doing is just my way. It's like kind of, I mean, I'm stepping away from genreizing myself as anything, to be honest. I really want to play different parts now. But like, shit was it? Yeah, I feel like my shit is like a true sort of punk ethos at the moment. You know?
Sort of just go against it, do what you're gonna do.
And it feels like that's really sort of resonating with people right now. Like I've had people say it's kind of inspired them to kind of go against shit, which is really nice. That's what I really, really want to do. And like I've got little sisters, and you know, someday I'd like to have kids, and I think it's important for the next generation to kind of know that they don't have to, like, especially nowadays, where everything's so structured and there's such a fucking thing of like, oh, you need to go to university.
Yeah, you need to get your BA, you need to go straight to a grad job, and that's not how life works.
Exactly.
That's not how life works.
I don't mean to sound like fucking a dickhead Jeremy Clarkson. He like tweets out every exam season like, oh, I got these and I did Top Gear and then I punched the fucking PA. But like, yeah, like he does have a point. You do not need to fucking do these things. Like I mean, at primary school, when I got diagnosed with autism, they kind of denied the existence of it.
Oh yeah, because that was what, like early 2000s, 2007.
Yeah, like 2000.
Yeah, that was because I was not diagnosed, but I was growing up in the same time. So when I had a few friends who were diagnosed, everyone was just kind of like, it's not a real thing. You just can't focus. And it was that case of I had friends who were stigmatized for it. And thankfully it's getting better nowadays from what I've seen. I can't speak from experience, obviously, but it's treated more as the real thing it is. It's not an issue, it's not a problem, but it's a part of you. You can't just like throw it away or turn it off. It's there. So like, I can imagine how that sort of was growing up with it in that time. It must not have been easy for you.
No, not at all. And like, sound like fucking being there. Yeah, I ended up being home educated for a couple of years. My mum was really, really helpful with that. And yeah, that was. I think I was talking to someone about this yesterday. I think that really kind of changed my perspective on the world a bit and kind of gave me an advantage over other people. Where like I wasn't in mainstream education for a little bit, but yeah, that's.
So earlier you were talking about your sort of punk ethos about your music and your style. Would you say that means some of your inspirations are, you know, like Youngblood, Machine Gun Kelly, you know, like Sum 41, like the real true punk stars of like the music world?
I hate the first two people you just mentioned. I cannot stand their music.
That is the correct answer, yes.
Youngblood's a fucking dickhead.
He's on a register somewhere, surely.
Like, for real, like, oh, he's such a, yeah, I don't like him at all. I'd say if you want to talk punk ethos, my main inspiration for like how I approach music occasionally, or at least how I approach the industry, is kind of like Death Grips. Like I just love how they.
Does this mean your next EP is gonna have your cock as a album cover?
Possibly.
You know what? I'm into that.
We'll have to see.
I'm into that.
But no, I think me on a surfboard. I think that's going to be the next album cover.
I think you should do something similar to Weezer's Raditude album and have a photo of a dog just fucking flying through a living room, but instead of a dog, make it like a salamander.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, like a weird photo of some obscure animal. And they're like, what is this? And you're like, if you have to ask, you don't get it.
Yeah.
You kind of play that off on them, you know, like, you're not cool enough. I think that's a really good attitude you can take into this, personally.
Yeah, definitely.
What are your thoughts on Weezer, actually?
I don't think I've actually listened to Weezer.
Do you want to put some on right now? Just listen to it.
Won't we get like copyright strike? Would that be like an issue?
We'll replace it with royalty-free ukulele or something.
Yeah, let's do that.
Give me a minute. Any preference on your Weezer songs?
I just told you I've not listened.
Yeah, but like off the title alone,
Right,
we got Island in the Sun.
Anything for the Blue album.
Say It Ain't So from the Blue album. Buddy Holly from the Blue album. Beverly Hills and the Sweater Song from the Blue album.
Buddy Holly's a man, he's not a fucking song.
He was a song maker as a man, so they made a song about the song maker
Let's
man.
listen to Buddy Holly then. Put Buddy Holly on.
Thoughts?
It's alright.
So would you say they're one of your favourite bands after that?
Yeah. Top 3.
Good. Top 5 for me. Underneath like Weird Al.
Yeah.
Weird Al's like top 4, honestly. He kind of takes up all of them. You know, like him as Michael Jackson, him as Coolio, him as Devo, then Weird Al,
Yeah.
then Weezer.
It's funny you mentioned him, like in the context of songwriting. I really liked Weird Al as a kid. Like I loved Weird Al as a kid. I think the first song I wrote was like some parody inspired by Weird Al. It's not even a fucking joke. It was like a parody of a Rage Against the Machine song.
I remember I actually wrote a song because when I was like 14, I was like, oh, I'll be this cool gaming YouTuber. And I wrote a song. It was a parody of Imagine Dragons about Team Fortress 2. Instead of Radioactive, it was Dominated. I've got the lyrics somewhere upstairs. They still exist. I don't want to go find them because it's so embarrassing. The fact that not only did I try and write a TF2 parody, it was an Imagine Dragons parody. It's literally the worst thing you could imagine. Written by a 14-year-old who could not sing, could not write music, and definitely did not know the game well enough either. I was a free-to-play, like 30 hours guy. Like, I can do this. I couldn't do it. I'm glad I didn't do it though. I'm like the guy from Drive.
Yeah, I'm like the guy from Drive. I almost wore my Drive jacket.
I wish you did. We were talking about questions before you got. We were setting up, and we'll say Tyler, take the role of Jacob. We're like, favorite film was like Drive.
I drive.
You drive, which is ironic because out of everyone here, you don't drive.
I drink.
I drink to forget, but I always remember. What's what?
What's all these packages?
Bombs.
Nice.
As you said earlier, you were diagnosed with autism at a young age.
Yeah.
Would you say that's impacted your process, your creative process, whether it's the lyrics? Obviously, it affects your lyrics to a certain degree, but how would you say that impacts your work ethic, if it does at all?
Affect my lyrics?
You know.
No, I don't know.
You know.
What do you mean by that?
You had that one line.
One line.
You have one line of your songs.
A lot of lines.
You were like, I was growing up dealing with autistic biz. That's how now I got the autistic
Yeah,
res.
that's one of my lyrics for sure. That's
Yeah.
one of mine.
That's one of your lyrics.
Well, okay, like seriously, on the creative process, right? I don't know, purely because I don't know how neurotypical people think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I cannot put myself in that mind frame. Like, yeah, I don't know what that's like.
Mm-hmm.
So I only have one mind frame, and that's
Yeah, like from your perspective, it's not like all of a sudden overnight you became autistic and your life has changed. You've grown up this way, so for you,
For sure.
this is the normal, and that's how it should be.
I'm a lot more prolific and I'm a lot more driven than a lot of other creatives, but I also don't know what's going on up there with people.
Would you say that? Do you think the autism diagnosis has changed how others perceive you? Do you think you
Probably,
get different treatment in good and bad ways to that?
For sure, it's tricky, right? Because it's a fine line when you meet people. You don't. Before, I wouldn't tell people. Now I'm just very open with it. I think people either know or hear about it that I am autistic. Quite a lot. What happens is people just assume I'm very assertive and confident, and then when you tell them I have autism, it kind of surprises them because I think there's a stereotype of like, you know, the socially anxious.
Yeah, they're expecting Rain Man or Sheldon Cooper.
Yeah, which there are people like that.
Oh.
But I don't know. Like I've had other autistic people be like, "You're autistic," and it's like, yeah, it is. I think these stereotypes do keep people down.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And it's really scary. I really hate it. Yeah, like I've met other autistic people that hate being autistic, and I do get that. It is hard sometimes. But I wouldn't trade it for anything. Like I think definitely it's aided me in some ways.
That's a really good answer. I like that.
Thanks.
So recently you were involved in a charity boxing match. You want to tell us about the saga of this?
It's fucking. I'm really angry about it. Right. I'm not gonna name the charity in case they come after me for fucking defamation or nothing. Well, not a charity. Actually, fuck it, I don't care. Ultra White Collar Boxing, right? You can look this up. There's so many documentaries about them. I signed up because like I thought, oh, that would be good. That'd be a good laugh. Raise some money. It was for cancer research. What I didn't know until very recently is a couple of things. One, the guy training it is an MMA coach, which you don't really want for boxing.
Yeah, you want a boxing coach.
You want a boxing coach.
MMA incorporates boxing, but you don't know all about boxing if you know MMA.
So,
you know?
MMA boxing coach, one coach for 500 people.
Jesus Christ.
Can you imagine that? They're sparring the first week.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. None of the ticket money goes to cancer research. You have to sell 10 tickets. If you don't sell the 10 tickets, at 25 quid, which is a lot of money.
That's a lot of money, yeah.
You know, you can't compete. Like, I could get to the end of the 8 weeks training and not be able to compete.
So if you sold 9 tickets, they'd have said, no, you've only made us just under 250 quid.
And it doesn't matter how much money you raise on Just Giving for cancer research. Like, if you don't sell those tickets, if you don't get them their money, they don't care. And then on top of it, I keep getting emails of their official supplements and shit, which is like some Alex Jones.
Alex Jones level fucking, have my pills.
Like, it's insane. Like, I love fitness. Fitness has like really changed my life.
Fitness stick in your mouth?
My cousin, actually, shout out my cousin, Josh McDonald. He has his own PT business. He's great.
Blur that. No promo.
No
fucking promo.
Can't promote my cousin? Okay. No, I started with him during the pandemic, and I've really, really fallen in love with fitness. I think it's the best thing you can do.
No, I need to get more into it because I got bigger tits than half the girls I work with, and that's not a good sign.
Spot reducing fat is really difficult, but I think someone said it to me recently, and I kind of took it on board. Like, it is one of the best things for like mental health.
Oh yeah,
for sure. Like, yeah, I find like if I'm stressed or whatever, if I work out, it alleviates it a lot. You know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely, because like when I was younger, near the end of high school career, I want to call it, I was really into my fitness. I was going to the gym 4 times a week after school. I was legitimately in really good shape. I was then hit by a car. I took about a year and a half off the gym. That was an interesting time.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, like even just not going to the gym really, it eats away at your head because you're telling yourself, oh, I'm out of shape, oh, you feel lazy and unmotivated because you know you're not making yourself do anything. Yeah. But when you finally go to the gym, you're like, oh shit. It's great mentally and physically because again, it kind of tells yourself, I am doing something. I'm not just wasting my time, wasting my effort and life, just sitting around doing nothing. It's a really good way, and that's why I need to go more often because it's not good.
Depending on the gym you go to, like fuck Pure Gym, right?
It's Pure Gym shite.
It's full of gearheads, dickhead haven. But like the one I go to, Anytime Fitness. I'm not going to say the specific location. I'm just going to say I go to
Barhead.
Just to be, not Barhead, just to be clear. But no, I love the camaraderie. Like if you go to a gym for a long while, you get to know everyone there. It's so nice, and the guys that run it are really good. Yeah,
I've noticed like a lot of the smaller, like I guess like home run gyms, where it's not this big Nuffield or Pure Gym or Planet Fitness or this American one, but it's like it's someone who clearly has a passion for it, has sat down and said, no, we're gonna make a gym for people who want to go to the gym, not all about turning profits of, oh, it's £60 a membership for a month and you get access to the tennis courts. It's like, no, you want to work out, just work out, be nice about it, here's your kit, go do it. That's sort of like, they have a better vibe to them, you know, and I get that. What are some future plans you've got in the pipeline? Can you tell any of us about that, or is that on lockdown notice?
Jesse.
James. Meowth. The 3 members of Team Rocket from the hit anime Pokemon.
Pinkman.
James. I said James already.
Next question.
My final question for you, Jacob. This is a really hard one. Take your time to think about it. Would you rather fight a clone of yourself who is 1.5 times your size, but about 20% dumber, or 2 clones of yourself who are 0. That's a good point actually, because about the boxing. Would you believe if I said we set up a charity boxing ring in the back garden right now?
Really?
Yeah. Would you believe if I said that?
Yeah, I believe that.
Well, you shouldn't. It's a fucking lie. Put them on. Put them on right now, bitch.
That's what I'm doing. Keep talking.
Would you rather fight a clone of yourself who's 1.5 times the size but a bit dumber, or 2 clones who are 0.75 times the size but a little bit smarter?
You repeat the options. Come up with a better question.
Would you rather fight a goblin or a gremlin?
How many questions did you just ask me there? Because like...
Who's cooler, orcs or imps?
What, like the Uruk type orcs? I've not seen Lord of the Rings. I've only played like the Shadow and Mordor games.
No, they don't do the dragons.
Are you alright? It's okay.
Don't touch me. That's all for this episode of Caledonia.
Trade out hosts.
Tyler, do you want to take over for a bit?
I was your host, Callum White, and this is Caledonia Creative.
Bye, I'm Waters. 2 T's.